Review document, page 97, appendix 2A. And the Bank of Ghana, they have printed 22 billion and 48 million Ghana cedis. 22 billion and 48 million Ghana cedis, new money that they have printed, without approval of Parliament, without informing all of us. This is illegal. It is against the Bank of Ghana Act. And I want to urge the governor of the central bank that he has engaged in an illegality. Gross illegality. And in future, if he's asked to print money, he should first come to Parliament first, before he acts. But in the meantime, I'm surprised that our minister responsible for finance failed to talk about it. So what he did today is a nullity. He should come back again and deliver a new media review. Because this is material. It is, in fact, perversive for a minister to omit the fact that they have taken 22 billion Ghana cedis from the central bank is perversive. I cannot accept it. It is scandalous, and he should have, at least as part of his statement, mentioned to us. Apparently, it is hidden in the appendices. Appendix 3A. So if you do not have an eye, or you don't have a spectacle like I have, then it means you will see it. Appendix 2A. I am saddened. No wonder inflation is going to the roof. If this trend continues, I won't be surprised that we'll end the year with inflation of 50%. If this trend continues, we may end up ending the year with inflation of about 50%. And we'll end up depleting the entire foreign reserves of our country to the extent that a time will come, we may not end up getting money to take care of our major imports, such as petroleum products and medicine. Let me end by saying that it is not only wrong, but it shows that this government is grossly incompetent. That at the time that investor community has lost hope in your economy, you don't do monetary financing. You don't do monetary financing. Because one thing that the NDC successfully removed in the year 2016 was the fact that we removed what we call fiscal dominance. Today, fiscal dominance is back.
But it's painful that I would submit a petition for the removal of a Chief Justice. But where the Chief Justice gives me no option by involving himself or herself in the naming of Supreme Court justices, that's just one leg of my petition. The second leg was in the reconstitution of panels. Panels that have already started hearing cases. If you read the Constitution tells us that once a panel starts to hear a case, that panel cannot be changed. In fact, the Chief Justice has no administrative authority over that panel. He couldn't tell them, sit today, or I'm moving one person out of the panel. Because if she did that, and if we allowed a Chief Justice to do that, the Chief Justice will be interfering with the decisional independence of court panels. I mentioned specific cases in which this had happened. I indicated in my petition that I'll bring Justice Jamafe to testify about these things. And then third, I raised the question of how decrees were being used to regulate the courts, contrary to the Constitution.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now. Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Well, and by the directive principles of state policy, we meet again this Monday, the June 2 or 2nd of June 2025. You're welcome to Good Morning Ghana. And we'll have a wonderful show today. Thank God for giving us yet another day to go through the issues of the country. As usual, we'll go through the headlines and then later we'll get into the matters. Let's start off with the Daily Graphic front page. And it says, e-VAT system, GRA signs on 3,000 businesses. 5,000 more prepare on board. Ban on drumming, noise making. GPCC raises concern over harassment. Calls for stakeholder dialogue. Zoomlion signs waste management details in 3 countries. Congratulations. Let's see how you perform in those countries. Government supports Ghana Bauxite Company smooth operation. The Ghanaian Times, boost for cocoa sector. President hints of processing factories for growing areas, good producer price for farmers. Government affirms support for smooth operations of Bauxite Company. Zoomlion strikes deal to manage waste in Nigeria, DRC, Ethiopia. Times Needy Fund is also here reminding you to contribute into the fund. The Daily Guide, MTN Heroes of Change, Dr. Dramina Abuaji tops all. Government assures Ghana bauxite of support. Wontumi files for EOCO bill variation. Report today or be declared wanted OSP to Ofori-Atta. UK backs Morocco Sahara autonomy plans as most credible solution. The new crusading guide. Brian provides 50 million Ghana cedis surety for Wontumi as NPP grassroots hail him. I don't understand something, but maybe we'll get into it later. Contempt motion served on Dr. Kofi Aban amid ongoing Pram land dispute. NDC youth Bibiani Anyase Bekwai urged Mahama to appoint Nana Yao Brema to Ghana Gold Board. Government assures support for Ghana bauxite companies' smooth operation. Court rules in landmark Huahin Achiana Tutua, Royal Family Land. OSP issues ultimatum to Ken Ofori-Atta, reports by Monday or face dire consequences. So let's see how it goes by the close of day today. UK backs Morocco's autonomy proposal, considers it as most credible basis to settle this dispute. The Insight. VIP speaks, says Africa is not energy poor, but energy rich, as she champions intra-African energy trade in tech and innovation. United States AFRICOM faces continental backlash over Langley's remarks on Traore. Setting the record straight on GJA president, facts over falsehood. MPP bigwig backed EOCO insists Wontumi's arrest and detention lawful. The Herald. Legal chaos between Wontumi's wife and lawyers keeps him detained. Police intercept 6,000 parcels of weed on Volta Lake. Franklin Cudjoe tells suspended Chief Justice to give up gracefully. Angola posthumously honors Captain Kojo Chikata with state medal. New team boosts efficiency at Ghana's embassy in US. Foreign Minister. The Daily Statesman. APN praises AFDB President-elect Sidi Ould Tah. Opposition parties petition diplomats over Mahama's judicial hijack. Massive gains from Ghana Bauxite Company. Public warned against unlicensed mobile lending applications. Ghana others pledged $16 million to African Development Fund. The publisher, the Ghanaian publisher, posterity is watching. Afenyomakin to NDC. Minister installs bauxite company, assures them of government support. Mahama praises Sami Gyamfi. Kofi Aban faces contempt in land case after being served with suit. The Custodian. OSP Ofori-Atta showdown looms. EOCO tricks Bawumia MPP over Wontumi's detention. Mahama to launch 24-hour economy July 1. NDC's A. Adekoka is dead. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Wontumi's 50 million Ghana cedi bill review hearing on June 3. So someone presents, documents for the sureties. And others also go to court. And these two attempts clash. Which one will be paramount? Obviously, the courts, right? Okay. Let's see how it goes. But Daily Post, Mahama applauds Gold Board CEO Sami Gyamfi for outstanding achievements since its inception. Government assures support for Ghana Bauxite Company smooth operations. Honorable Joycelyn Tete slams tobacco nicotine industry for making their harmful product enticing, particularly to young people. Adekoka passes away. The Daily Searchlights. Lawless OSP strikes Oforiatta again. Lawless OSP strikes Oforiatta again. Parliament approves 10 billion cedis for National Health Insurance Authority. Chairman Wontumi files motion to review bill conditions. And then we also have efficiency or optics. Over 800 visas is issued on day 1 at reopened Ghana Embassy in DC. Okay, we'll get into that later. And then we also have the Informer, OSP Express Oforiatta today. Indiscipline in schools. Think tank suggests more powers to teachers. 3 busted over weed. Baumia gets great assets. Baumia, great asset to Ghana, communication consultant, setting the record straight on GJA president, facts over falsehoods. That's also on the front page of the Informer newspaper. The Business and Financial Times, Employers Association holds 4th annual leadership conference. Zoomlion expands African footprint, secures Lagos contracts, and signs waste management MOUs with Congo and Ethiopia. Extractives, government assures support for Ghana bauxite smooth operations. And in the news, we have fuel prices set to fall by up to 9% as cedi strengthen. And ADB MD urges manufacturers to leverage current economic environment for growth. The Catholic Standard today, it came on Monday, rise above pettiness, speaker to parliament, or to parliamentarians. So this week's Public Standard is actually from today to about the 7th of June. Reverse church's negative growth rate, Bishop Jenfi. Koforidua Diocese commits to reviving basic Christian communities. Prof. Ekia Brechum chairs NMC, and then in the editorial, making 24-hour economy an era where opportunity ceases to sleep. Right, and that's it for the headlines this morning. Let's take a breather. We'll be back with a guest.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Ama, Nansemi General bin enkoye kwao. Ama maye bohu se kuntomra akija.
Nansemi ho se me nyo basima kura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oh, you right. Enye mo ko. Give us JC lecture ene ne capsules a ye num bom enho asem na mo kana e boa emma ene mema nyina ne ma wo ba ye obesima na be ma so aye be masima ya we be boa wo kunu ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum na wanyinya ne nti sese ne oyi chokmo na Kivez BC mixture MN capsule achesa
a painful about one more menu for one kwada when you feel to me achesa.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Freddy Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Freddy once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did a sasso spray. Mr. Freddy sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso. Come tum preko.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calcate Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calcates. Happy smile.
Where to get Polytank?
Oh, and you're up fine.
Go straight.
Oh, I want left, right.
That's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, and ye data. Oh no! Abe, na here. Me pe Polytank ato. Enu tin ta menu ba otu pe bia be na ba hayu. O food pe bia e de enjoy ye kura.
Akuya bulambu kotoman. Emu ha.
Like they took my eyes. Came to me to go to the distributor and you give the original Polytank. Company. You get a sound?
Polytank. Papananka sankasa. Wabedum time aso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya mabesisia. Abozege. Akache say no ya konate and the more drink woman. Hey. But I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her. Oh, dash. Eji. Dabio, baby wom. Ready. Hey, baby wom.
Uncle.
Ah, Eji. I'll cause some discomfort. Ah.
Uncle.
Sorry, well, Uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral? At to phone for Aerofield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
No mum share na danya waso mosquito coil esudu wo mu na say spray wo dan mu so a twan sima adronum ansa na akodan no mu.
Enkratoi FDA agiatum.
Join the president of EBID and other leading development experts live on June 3rd, 2025 from 11 a.m. GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBID's digital platforms for the President's Roundtable on Unlocking Food Security in West Africa through Agricultural Transformation. Having financed over $113 million in agriculture and agribusiness projects and programs to build resilient food systems across the ECOWAS sub-region, EBID has prioritized tackling food insecurity in the sub-region in its Strategy 2025 with the aim of assisting member states to attain SDG 2 and SDG 3. Dr. George Ejekum Donko, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of EBID, will be joined by leading development experts to discuss and share their collective experiences and perspectives on addressing food security challenges in West Africa, as well as finding innovative ways to ensure food resilience in the region. ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development. EBID, transforming ECOWAS communities.
Mr. Speaker, I think to me we're very, very sad.
We ahata et Yehovah, Elohika bika luvika, uvika naveshika, uvika miyodika, tode yashach, tode yashach.
Mr. Speaker, I think to me we're very, very sad that you are here talking. He was expecting you to sleep at Yoko with him. You abandoned him to sleep there. And today, you promised the people of Ghana that you abandon this chamber. You are here making a lot of arguments. Wontumi, you people should tell Wontumi his people are deceiving him. And he's sleeping there alone and they are here. Arguing for more holidays.
Honorable Dongo, are they supposed to sleep there with him?
Mr. Speaker, that is what they made us believe.
Chairman of the committee.
We were surprised when they were sitting on the ground there.
Honorable
But when we went there at 7, they had disappeared.
We ahata et Yehovah, Elohika bika luvika, uvika naveshika, uvika miyodika, tode yashach.
Yes, you 50 million.
50 billion now more canon. 500 billion. The 500 years you nani MPC at all munna. You been yes canon. MPC at it at all one. You been yes canon. Would you mean that push your penny? Your tone wa. Obenya says canon. Edi John Mahamad in Ibrahim. Omukwana was says canon. What you say? Edi says here I could to send John Mahamad. And then in Ibrahim was said. One first says canon. Near to me would to me. Aside that, you know, yeah, it's a toy and I to me says canon. I around 7 the bet my and he said, "You take from her because you can't hear me. Omana could do more." What you say?
Yehovah Ekat, we ahata et Yehovah, Elohika bika luvika, uvika naveshika, uvika miyodika, tode yashach, tode yashach. Yehovah Ekat, we ahata et Yehovah, Elohika bika luvika, uvika naveshika, uvika miyodika, tode yashach, tode yashach.
Welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana. We have some strangers in the studio, so if you hear voices, please don't be alarmed. We have very cute strangers. They are not a danger to us at all. But let me just remind you this morning that Blue Jeans Energy Drinks is still on the market and is reminding you to, you know, if you want to purchase in bulk. Okay, I think that I will just... Okay, I'll give you the details maybe as and when my document is open. But in the meantime, let me welcome the guests to you in the studio. I have Beatrice Anna with me, and she is a lawyer and a member of the NDC Communications Team, presidential staffer as well. Beatrice Anna is here. Beatrice, you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Annie, and I'm happy to be here as always.
How are you? How's work going at the presidency?
Everything is fine. I think that we all can feel the effect of the work President Mahama is doing, and everybody. We are beginning to see prices of goods and services drop. We are beginning to see testimonies or posts of people saying that we think that this is a good government. And for us in the NDC and President Mahama, we don't think that we have to have a kinky party to celebrate some of these things, because we believe that this is what the people of Ghana expect, and even more. And it's a marathon. And so they can be rest assured that President Mahama is not sleeping. President Mahama is committed to resetting this nation and giving every Ghanaian that desire. We are not promising to make Ghana a heaven, but we are saying that we want to build a country together. We want to give young people hope. We want to listen more to people, and together I'm sure that we can all have the Ghana that we want.
Okay. Beatrice, you're welcome once again. Let me welcome Lara Timosasaka, also with us, also a member of the NPP National Communications team. Lara, you're welcome.
Thank you, Annie.
And
good
how
morning.
are you doing? It's been a while as well. Where have you been?
Oh, I've been around.
Oh, you had a program this weekend.
Yes.
Tell me about the program.
It was the handing over and fundraising event for the Gonjaland Youth Association. So the association it's 49 years now, turns 50 next year. But earlier in April, there was an election to elect new executives. And there was a handing over ceremony and a fundraising to also help support the association's operations and also look at the pertinent issues within. And when you say Gonjaland Youth Associations, fundamentally the Savannah region, it cuts across the length and breadth of the Savannah region with the various ethnic groups. And it was quite an interesting event. I mean, we've come a long way, but our issues are still the same. So just as the President, Mr. Alassane Darison, indicated in his speech, Savannah region is the poorest in this country. We have in some districts 70% of the people living in multidimensional poverty. Our poverty level is a little over 49%. So there are a lot of things that we need to do. We've come a long way, but we really need to prioritize and look at how we prioritize our issues, youth employment, and we have the biggest land mass in this country. Before the northern region then was split, we had a little over 50% of the total land mass of the northern region then. And when you bring it into the national level, we have about 16% of the land mass of this country. So it's a very blessed region, but it still baffles us why we are still the poorest. Because everything grows there. We have gold, we have about 70%, if I'm not mistaken, or when you look at the GNPC seismic map, about 70% of the oil ore cuts through the Savannah region. You know, we have the black and white volta running through us. Tourist attraction, the biggest forest reserve, Mole National Park, biggest national park in West Africa, is within the Savannah region. So we have no excuse being poor if we are really intentional about the things we want to do and prioritize properly. So that was the main. Was there
any over the 49 years achievements that you were able to highlight? So that
like we say,
what you're building on.
Like we say jokingly, if for nothing at all, we've been uniting every year, you know. But there have been successes that we've chalked in terms of keeping the unity, in terms of keeping helping out with scholarships and those things, bringing up the tertiary and senior high school students. But we haven't been intentional about it. And this is the time. Like the president said, the new executive are not here to reset or reinvent the association. They are here to strengthen it and build on it. So we just need to be deliberate and prioritize. Look, we have issues with Galamsey. We have issues with logging. We have issues with charcoal burning. And that region is 70%, if not more, agrarian. Most of the people in the region, over 70%, 80%, rely on surface water. So if we're having all these issues, it's imperative for us to raise funds, bring everybody on board, and we are not limiting it to just Gonjalanders or inhabitants of Savannah region. Recently, the Yegbonra has reached out to Nairi, reached out to Yana. There needs to be a collective effort to change the story of the North. We are way behind. The oldest school in in northern part of this country is 100 years behind a school in the south. So we need to be deliberate about it. And Honorable Amin Anta, who was the guest of honor, emphasized on that, unity and being deliberate and strategic about what will change the North. We are way behind time. And that was the crux of what happened. So congratulations to the new executives. And you see that you have quite older people that on a normal day you wouldn't call youth. But in our region, if you don't have a title, you are considered a youth fundamentally.
Interesting. Anyway, congratulations to you. Gonja Youth, right?
Yes, Gonjaland Youth.
Gonjaland Youth. Congratulations to you.
So she became an executive? Or?
No, I'm not an executive.
Not, but she's always been a member, very active.
I was the first ever female president of the National Association of Gonjaland Students at Legon.
Madam President.
Then I became a regional secretary. Contested twice for national secretary, I lost.
Oh.
And this current president, I contested with him twice. He was contesting for...
In school?
No. National level. Oh. So from school, from Legon, I became regional. I became Greater Accra. Yes, I became Greater Accra. I became Greater Accra regional secretary. Then from there, I contested twice for national secretary. Then this current president also contested for president. I think our last election,
you see how she's
I lost by three. That's my big brother.
Yeah, as of President Mahama, you can proudly rob yourself against
it. Oh, come on. I'm not saying the president of the country. I'm talking about the president of the Gonjaland Association. Don't get too excited. He contested. Our last election, he lost by vote. I lost by 3 votes. And I had one of my uncles call me and say that, oh, it's not that you can do the job. Then NDC was in power. It's not that you can do the work. It's just that you're found in the...
So if you contest again now, you
are found in the law. No, now I'm politically exposed.
You are pep.
I can't contest.
You're a big woman now.
Oh. So basically, we're just gearing up to make things better.
Let's see how the Gonjaland Association also helps, contribute to the development of the country. Meanwhile, there was something that happened with the foreign ministry, I think 2 weeks ago, and that had to do with the minister briefing us about, some checks that he's done in the Ghana embassy in DC, United States, and what he found out with one Fred Kwating, who was found to have been engaged in some fraudulent activities which denied Ghana the resources that were, financial resources, that we are entitled to. The whole management of the embassy was also very poor. Productivity was low. So I think there was a drastic decision that was taken to shut down the embassy totally and restart everything afresh. Now, new team was sent in, and there were backlash, in the shutting down. The new team that were sent in there, in fact, people were criticizing that. Honorable Ablakwa wanted to send his NDC, surrogates, or I'm not sure, whatever. But he still sent a new team there. There's a report in the Herald newspaper. It says that the new team boosts efficiency at Ghana's embassy in US. When I saw it, I'm like, new team boost, okay. They just went now. Under what period are we marking the productivity or measuring the productivity? So the background is that the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, had denied reports that new individuals had been recruited to replace staff at the Ghana embassy in Washington, D.C. following its recent reopening at a temporary shutdown due to alleged misconduct. Now, in a Facebook post on Friday, Mr. Blakwa described such claims as false and baseless, emphasizing that the diplomatic mission is currently being managed by a fresh team of seasoned diplomats drawn from within Ghana's existing diplomatic corps. According to him, no new person have been hired externally to fill any vacancy created during the recent shake-up. And you know, the mentality of human beings, when there's a shake-up, you know, now you are seeing the shake-up, when they take you there, nobody will tell you to sit up. So, contrary to falsehood and baseless claims, there have been no new recruitment to replace lost jobs in our Washington embassy. The minister stated that we have an adequate stock of distinguished and astute diplomats to lead ongoing reforms. So Mr. Blakwa also praised the team's performance on their first day of resumption operation, revealing that the embassy processed and issued more than 800 visas in a single day. And he attributed the smooth operation to reforms and systems upgrades implemented during the recent institutional reset. The Herald actually says that, okay, let me start from continue from page 4. Okay, let me see if I'll find my page 4 paper. Okay, so the Ghana Embassy in Washington, D.C. reported to have become highly efficient following the reopening of the temporary shutdown prompted by the major visa fraud scandal. The mission is already showing promising results. According to Samuel Okudzeto Blakwa, Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, the embassy issued 800 visas on the first day of resumed operations. In a Facebook post Friday, okay, the minister also commended the newly deployed diplomatic teams for efficiency, professionalism and integrity, adding that the progress is part of the broader research agenda aimed at cleaning up the Ghana's diplomatic missions. So obviously it's not for just one mission, but all the offices across, because the complaints coming from the offices across is unbelievable. So let's see how that goes. But Beatrice, I think that will come to you for reasons best known to me. Stop giving me eyes. I'll still ask.
I was working.
I'm sorry. Stop working.
Okay, so I think that what happened in DC, it's a very bad one. And if you understand how the foreign service works, for instance, in the United States, they have two missions. They have the DC and they have the New York. The DC happens to be the biggest in the United States. And so you have a lot of visa applications and other diplomatic services being rendered through that mission. And if you look at the fact that one man can set up a whole embassy for such an embarrassment, it should tell you one thing, that he did not do this alone. I am surprised that the NPP was in power for. I'm told this started more than 5 years ago. And for all these years, they were not interested in knowing this and nobody could see this. And it had to take a new government under 5 months to discover this. But what happened in DC is not only an issue in DC. I can tell you that from where I sit, it is as if the NPP came to power with a calculated attempt to deprive the citizens of this country their right to every resource that they own. It is as if their orientation is that everybody else has to be poor and they have to be rich. Because it beats your imagination how certain things or how people got away with certain things. It's as if when they go for their meetings, they plan that, okay, we don't want to build roads, but how do we make maybe $10 million? Then I'm sure somebody will suggest that, maybe we should build roads or others should plant maize or whatever. It does not reflect well on us. It tells you that, and And Annie, if you ask me, for me, my worry even is that if you travel to any of these Western countries, even for a holiday, the system is so well designed that you are whipped in line. So the big guys who say they are big men in their country and for some reason can't do certain things, when they find themselves in these Western countries, they do the right things. They don't get house helps. They carry their own bags. They probably join the queue to buy food like any other person. They do the things that we would say that ordinary people do. So when you get into a system like that and you take on your MPP attitude or your Ghanaian mentality of let me do things and get away with it, it's a bother. And I'm told that, you know the irony, some reason he tips almost everybody to the extent that he gives some people as much as $5,000 on weekends.
Hey.
Yes, because he was making millions. And I'm just asking that so nobody there could ask, where does this gentleman get $500, $2,000, $5,000 and be tipping people? All they know is that, oh, he's a good person, he brings the money. But you were privy to the salary. It is my belief that when we are given the opportunity to serve our nation, you know, I'm sure proud to this gentleman getting a job. He probably was so frustrated and everything. When you are given an opportunity to serve your country, the least you can do, if you don't make it better, is to leave it the way you came to meet it. You should not make it worse. And I am very confident that Honorable Okudzato, knowing who he is and what he can do, would bring a lot of sanity, not just to the DC mission, but so many others, so that, you know, in Africa, Ghana is deemed the beacon of democracy. Ghana is deemed that model country for many African countries. So when you see some of these things happening, you are not so proud, and it's not a very good discussion. I'm hoping that this gentleman will be prosecuted. I'm hoping that we will not try to politicize this again and say because he was employed under MPP or his MPP or he has relatives in MPP or what, for whatever reason, he should be punished in the way that would deter others, because it brings the name of the whole nation into disrepute. And we should all strive to make sure that some of these things are avoided, not even solved like we are doing now. It should not even happen in the first place.
But do you have any plan extending this to the other embassies? Like I said, we've received plethora of...
I'm sure the foreign minister will make a decision. Just like this came to his attention, he consulted, acted, and even before his own deadline, he had to reassign diplomats to make sure so I'm sure that if there is one confidence you can have, is to trust that the Honorable Okudzato Ablakwa would solve this thing. And that's the difference substantially between the NDC and the MPP. You know, sometimes I wonder what really is the psyche of the MPP. What really? So how is it that the foreign minister did not see this for over 5 years? How is it that nobody paid attention? But you see, they were interested in buying properties in Oslo. They were interested in other things. So these things were not their focus. But be that as it may, we are optimistic that the right thing should be there. And I'm even sure that this in itself will cause others, if they were engaged in some similar illegalities, to sit up, because you just may not know when it will get to your turn. Yeah. So I'm sure the Honorable Okudzato will do justice to this matter.
Larati, you want
yes,
to word on it?
Annie, what is there to say? I mean, like I've always maintained, if wrong has been committed, whoever was involved in such must face whatever the rules are. But what the Foreign Affairs Minister did was just needless. The embassy is not just for issuing of visas. It does more than that. Trade facilitation, diplomatic engagements and all that. So if he's going to take that, his knee-jerk approaches to issues and his I catch you on Facebook and all those things to foreign ministry, then he's going to really embarrass this country. You found out, and from what I gather, this investigation had been going on for a while. And Beatrice, I think you have to be introducing Beatrice as a presidential staffer. I think he still, oh, you did? Yeah. She needs to remember that they are in government. They are not in opposition. She has fixation with the MPP. It's not what is going to solve Ghanaian problems. We are in June.
No, we'll punish you when
we are in June.
Sorry.
We are in June.
We'll punish you when
we are in June. There are things Ghanaians want to see. So they need to tone down their fixation with the MPP. Where are we now? We are in opposition, and there's nothing. There are things that Ghanaians complain about, thought could have been done better. We didn't do some, or we did the best that we could do. Ghanaians thought that, look, we want a new approach, and you come and you're still towing the same line. We can only wish them well. But this knee-jerk reaction to shutting down embassies and writing on Facebook, I don't think it fits into diplomatic behavior. And the Foreign Affairs Minister must learn. He's representing the Republic of Ghana, not Okudzeto Ablakwa. He's now the president, the Foreign Affairs Minister of the Republic of Ghana. He can be doing all his Facebook, I catch you things and throwing things around. Yes,
what's wrong with
the gentleman has
the
done
gentleman
something.
Was
he even
visa rackets.
Annie, does the embassy deal in only issuing of visas?
What's your point?
No, the embassy in Washington doesn't deal in only issuing of visas. What was the gentleman alleged to have done? It had to do with visa and systems and all those things. Like I said, from what I gather, the investigations had gone on for a while. Yes, you've come, you want to implement whatever recommendations have come out of it. Do you have to shut down the whole embassy and embarrass the Republic of Ghana like this? Is that what he wants to be doing in our foreign affairs? There's no long talk about it.
What would have been the best situation?
No, but the gentleman in question has been named. You found him. There are measures to these things. Does the whole, all the foreign service have to suffer because the gentleman misconducted himself?
Yes, but you see, if you look at the thrust of the matter or the crust of it, it doesn't have to do with just the gentleman who was found out involved in the visa racketeering, situation. It was also a management problem where, of course, if you have staff who are recording visas on a daily basis but are not able to juxtapose revenue coming in against what it is recording, it means that
so you have to shut the whole
is ineffective.
Embassy down.
But you see, he swapped.
No, you have to shut it all down.
So
what is the guarantee?
No, but if you move people
what is the guarantee that those you brought in?
So he should keep the same people and continue.
No. I'm sorry. What's your question?
What is your guarantee that those were not to cast any doubt on whoever the new team are, but this was specific to visa issues.
It was not just visa issues.
It was what?
It was the whole management system.
So the whole embassy.
Yes.
Of course. That's what
the foreign affairs minister wasn't working. So you have to shut it down.
And let's move on.
What happened to prudence? What happened to gradual way of doing things? No, Annie, don't laugh. If you have an issue with management at Metro TV, will you shut down your TV?
If the whole staff is ineffective, yes.
Oh, you will?
Yes.
No, I think you need to talk to your management before.
I think
if we are going to be shutting down institutions just because we found an anomaly in one department.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask this question.
It was
I know you have a soft spot for the foreign affairs minister.
No.
But please, let's look at this from the angle of the Republic of Ghana.
Is this because drastic measures of this nature never really happens in our dispensation?
What is drastic
so this really
nature
looks
of this?
So strange to us.
People get sacked all the time for misconducting themselves. Even in public service, just because they are not in the eye of the media. People get sacked. People get interdicted. People get suspended all the time within public service and civil service. Right. That's why there are disciplinary committees and all those things. Even in country, you follow all those processes. Then you think you should just shut down a whole embassy. Is that the best approach to solving it? Nobody denies the fact that when someone is shortchanging this nation.
Okay.
Before I started, you asked me a question. I listed the litany of issues in one region alone out of 16 regions. So if anybody shortchanges this country, because whatever revenue they are making there, it also adds up to the revenue of the republic. But that doesn't mean that what he did is akin to killing a fly with a bulldozer. That's what he did.
All right.
And that shouldn't be encouraged.
Let me read this. Let me just read this. Brian has sent me this. He says that, Annie, Setting's government, it is, Fred Kwarteng has vehemently denied the allegations. Apparently, he was engaged in his own NDC government after they lost in 2016 general elections. According to him, the embassy had begun engaging him as far back as 2013, 2014. At Blackwell Light, he says, the agenda is clear. He deliberately put out this blatant falsehood in order to dismiss the staff and replace them with his friends and cronies in the government service, in the foreign service. This is not how Dr. Obed Asamoah and Victor Gbehu, Adudi Ayoko Boche, and others protected the interest and well-being of the Ghanaians abroad and upheld the country's image. You cannot properly execute our foreign policy with cheap propaganda. He says Samuel Bryan is the one that said that. Okay, so that's your...
Who is Samuel Bryan?
The member of the NDC, MPP.
Okay. Then I'll leave it. I thought he was an authority on the topic, but that's fine. But I'm saying that...
Let me read one from Ambassador Edith Hazel. She said, okay, let me leave it. You just go ahead. What
so I'm saying that I think Lorato doesn't understand or
really
does not appreciate what the Foreign Affairs Minister is doing or said before took the actions that he did. There is an issue that we are not being told affects a department. It's not as if the embassy runs 10 different services and one service has been compromised. We are saying that the information that the minister has shows that everybody in that embassy has been compromised. And so if everybody has been compromised, you leave who to investigate what and who set up what committee to do what. The question you should be asking is what, or you should be telling us is that the minister should have done A, B, C, D. Or by so doing, the minister breached a certain international protocol. That is the level at which you should be having the discussion. And not just saying that because I disagree with what the minister did, then he did something wrong. In any case, even in the US, Ghana has more than one mission. If the minister, as you are alleging, wants to employ his friends, why would he collapse one? Ghana has more than 52 embassies or so. What will one do to the minister's friends? I mean, we must raise the level of the discussion. When the old team was dissolved, did you see the minister employing new ones? It is the existing people that we are saying that you go.
They're already in the system.
They're already in the system. So it's not as if the minister has taken a rash decision to employ people to replace so that this argument will be sound. Sometimes when we are making argument, we should subject us to a little bit of test to see whether that argument will be sound. Honey, if the minister had employed new people, then this argument will be sound. The minister has not employed new people, has not taken steps to bring in new people. So where from this issue of the minister wants his friends
and all
to
that,
be wherever?
Then you miss the point. I should be telling you that you are in government and sitting at the president. I should be telling you.
Don't say.
I wish your show.
This was the statement that was released based on which the decision was taken. Okay, thank you. So let me try and read it from the screen. with the firm support of the President Mahama, I have carried out the following drastic and decisive actions following the damning findings of the special audit team I put together a couple of months ago to investigate alleged corrupt practice at the Ghana Embassy in Washington, D.C. So the immediate dismissal of Mr. Fred Kwarteng. Mr. Fred Kwarteng was a local staff recruited on August 11, 2017. Who was at the ambassador at the time? August 11, 2017. To work in the embassy. Is it not?
No, but
Halima?
someone sent you contrary information to this.
Who is that? Who sent
you just read contrary information to when he was recruited.
The contrary
yes,
information?
but doesn't mean that I can't read this.
No, what I'm saying is, so let's reconcile the two.
I've
right?
read that statement.
Yes.
Well, let me read this
No,
as
when,
well.
Okay.
And wait, before you read this, when an embassy releases a statement, you don't get an MPP member to come and give you contrary information. It is either Mr. Fred Kwarteng who has the capacity to
But
give
he himself has
contrary
been speaking.
Yes, but Mr.
information.
Yes, but
he himself has been
Wait,
speaking.
let me finish making my point. Or maybe the former ambassador. You don't just bring an MPP person
But
to
sorry,
say
but I'll
someone.
still read anyway. So let me go.
Who
on.
is that someone?
Okay. So let me.
Hey.
Yeah, Semo. So let me
Arrogance of
continue.
power.
This one says that.
Oh, really?
Lara to August 2017 to work in the embassy IT department according to the findings and its own administration. He created an unauthorized link on the embassy website which diverted visa and passport applications to his company. Now, Ghana Travel Consultants, that's a GTC, where he charged extra for multiple services on the blind side of the ministry and kept the entire proceeds in his private accounts. His illegal extra charges, which were not approved by the ministry and the parliament, are required under the Fees and Charges Act, ranges from $29.75 US to $60 US per applicant. The investigation revealed that he and his collaborators operated this illegal scheme for at least 5 years. So from 2017 for the 5 years, within the period of 5 years, who was the ambassador? This conduct has been reported to the Attorney General for possible prosecution and retrieval of funds obtained through fraudulent schemes. And all ministries of foreign affairs staff posted to the Washington embassy have also been recalled home with immediate effect. The embassy's IT department has been promptly dissolved. All local recruiter staff at the embassy have been suspended. And the Auditor General has also been invited to conduct a forensic examination of all transactions and to determine the total cost of this elaborate fraudulent scheme. Ghana's embassy in Washington, D.C. shall be closed down for a few days from today, as we finalize the ongoing restructuring and system overhaul. And any inconveniences is, radical measures may cause visa and passport applicants is regretted. So obviously, if you wanted passport within that period, you have to go to a different embassy. So okay, that's about it.
And you see, the same way we have issues and we have complaints in our institutions. And I'm saying this because Beatrice mentioned that Washington is not the only point in the U.S., for instance. Right. We have embassies across the country. I wish your show was a phone, you had a phone-in session, and you open it up for people living abroad or people who have had experiences with our embassies. I mean, people do the best that they can do. But like in every establishment, there are always bad nuts. There are people who try to take advantage of the systems and all that. I had an experience with a relative at our mission in New York. And before that, I'd heard people say, oh, I paid, I didn't get a receipt.
Visa.
I paid my passport was supposed to get to me at a particular time. It didn't get to me. How about to follow a relative to the New York office, and I ended up meeting the person in charge of the mission, like the public servant in charge of the mission. Sometimes we need to be able to communicate some of these things. How many embassies is the Foreign Affairs Minister going to shut down to deal with some of these systemic changes? That's why you keep reviewing your systems and upgrading them.
Really?
You get it? It's not a matter of just sacking. So at the end of the day, if you close and sack everybody and take new ones, how many foreign service staff do we have? You will end up coming for the ones you sacked before into another mission. So if we are going to do a holistic review and strengthening our systems, that should be it. Not this knee-jerk reaction of just shutting down an embassy just because there's an issue. And that is not to downplay the issue that is. And the gentleman himself, I'm told, has been speaking.
So we're told that he spoke with Obi.
Yes.
Brian is saying that he spoke with Obi and he has denied all
the... I haven't listened to him.
But that's not how to solve these problems. Your denial does not necessarily settle the matter.
No, but Annie, an investigation has gone on, right? There's suspension, there's closure of the thing. And the minister himself thinks that it's his Facebook page that he should be communicating these things. No matter how wrong the person is, you have to go through some of the... No, please.
No, the way you make it look like
you're no longer in
the
opposition.
minister. No,
you're a presidential staff now.
I urge you to follow.
You get it?
To
so
follow
the gentleman
President
is talking
Obama.
Everything is all over the media. So he also needs to come out. But what I know, especially in diplomatic side, you give the person a hearing. Has he already been charged with whatever he's alleged to have done? What are the punitive measures
you heard
for
what
that?
I read? That the
get it.
The Attorney General has been giving the dossier to deal with it. So I mean,
so that is the approach to go. But if you go talking, the person will also be forced to come out and talk as to what he's saying.
So he shouldn't have spoken
as to the veracity.
Yes.
No, but
I
I think that apart from letting us know that this has happened, I think that until you are sure of what the conclusion is, some of these talks should be limited. Now, the Attorney General has been giving the thing.
Accountability.
After letting us know, how should he have done that?
How should he have done
without
what?
using Facebook? Without using...
No, listen, Annie. You found that something was going on. And like I said, the investigation, from what I gather, has been going on for some time because the complaints were becoming way too many.
In fact, Kofi Tonto even granted an interview.
Okay.
And said that...
To
yes. And said that the guy, Kofi Tonto, suspected that the guy was doing something. So he also started an investigation before you guys left office.
So investigations have been going on. Yes, you've come. It is... then what do we say about it? And like I said, let me emphasize this before anybody thinks that I'm condoning bad. If the gentleman has done wrong, he must face the music. Anybody who shortchanges this country must face whatever the consequences are. But everybody, like we say, and Beatrice is sitting here, what do the lawyers say? Everybody is innocent until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. Right. So this is what has been unearthed at the Washington mission. This gentleman is involved. Whatever it is has been given to the Attorney General's department. He will have his day to explain it. I haven't listened to whatever interview he's granted on it, but definitely he also has something to say. But if it comes out that he's done what he's done and shortchanged this country, whatever punitive measures need to be applied, whatever sanctions need to be applied. But if you're going to be shutting down, and that's the thing, if you're going to be shutting down embassies like this, how many are you going to shut down? How many people are you going to be taking there?
Aged diplomats.
Yes.
Prior to this matter.
Okay.
Who have also explained to me, in fact, having worked in DC,
okay,
they've explained to me how far people can go in, having their way around the system. And one is telling me that the gentleman is not being truthful. But you see, it's not his word.
I haven't listened to him. I've heard he said an interview.
It's neither his word nor not his word against the foreign ministry.
Okay.
The foreign ministry has come out with allegations. All they have to do is to investigate to the latter so that we come to a conclusion. Well, he has a freedom to, speak and deny.
Of course.
And we don't have the right to even condemn him.
He's on the line.
Yes, exactly. So that's about what
But you see what you said. You see what you said defeats Beatrice's thing of saying that it's been happening for 5 years and nobody did anything. So this is wrong. So you see, this is something that from what you say, from these experienced diplomats, people have been finding ways around our systems for a long time. And that is where making sure that we strengthen our systems come in, rather than just shutting down embassies. You get it. You can never get my argument. You refuse to get it.
I mean, I don't want to belabor this point because I want us to have enough time for my favorite
then let's take a breather.
friend, Wuntumi. But let me diffuse two wrong assertions.
Beatrice, you leave the president to come and sit here just to talk about Wuntumi.
Some misconception that Laura wants. See, Facebook post of any public figure is as good as any official interview or even official statements issued on letterheads. Facebook posts the world over with countries with bigger economies. Their presidents and leaders are using Facebook, X, and other forms of social media to communicate to the citizens. It is, in fact, the first basis of accountability. Yesterday, all the newspapers you are reviewing today will not capture the news as it happened this morning at 6 a.m. In fact, even for the radio stations, they may not have been able to verify it at the time of their 6 a.m. news. And so new media is a medium that many public officers will use, and also in line with accountability. So let Laura probably is old school. Let nobody tell you that when a minister makes a post on Facebook, then the matter is trivialized. In fact, it is incorporated in accountability. Why do media houses boast on the number of personalities they are able to interview? Today, we are having to hear those people. So that first leg of the argument, I think we should discard it.
In fact, you can be sued.
And then she says that, please, let me finish my argument. You've spoken, sir. Now she says that, because there are so many things happening, the minister should not solve one that came to his notice and he took steps. Why is it that my friends in the NPP like condoning corruption and the wrong things like that? You should be the first people saying that, no, this is wrong. And this is not an NPP NDC thing. This is Ghana's mission in DC. If you live in DC, you would know that the gravity, DC is the biggest mission in the United States. And so if something as serious as cloning a website, directing public funds for private gain, or they have diverted so much public funds for private gains that the lines have been blurred, they don't see anything wrong with it. The gentleman has not even been arrested for us to say that maybe his rights are being trampled upon or what. An employer has the right to terminate the employment of an employee at any time as long as the necessary notice has been given. So let nobody give the impression that this thing should not, and you know, in very recent times, I've heard them say that, nobody is condoning wrong thing, or nobody is condoning corruption. Then they will continue, but we are only saying, what are you saying? What are you saying? Are there contrary facts to the fact that the website was cloned? Are there contrary facts to what we know that people and everybody in the embassy is compromised?
In the gentleman's line of denial, I expect that he provides
nobody. See, even when a person is caught in flagrant delicto, in the process of committing the crime, nobody will say, even lawyers, we advise you to say not guilty for a purpose. So merely because a person comes to say that I'm not guilty does not mean that the facts are wrong. It could be that these are the facts, but that was not my intention. Those are different things. And so we must be worried when something wrong or when something is done in our country, outside our country, and it's done wrongly, then you can say that, okay, maybe we disagree or we think that you should have taken this measure. But let nobody gaslight us this morning that merely because a minister spoke to the citizens, the people who pay his salary, that this is what is happening, this is the measure, and this is what I intend doing, then he is trivializing it. They don't like Okujato for oral, but oral has come to stay. And it will stay with both MPP appointees and NDC appointees. That is the freshness that we have brought into this government. Okay. That is the conscience of saying that we cannot always be, measuring in the minor. What you should be asking are whether public funds were indeed diverted and whether or not the people are beneficiaries. If you say that you have contrary facts, I'll sit back and listen to you. But you don't say that the minister should not have used Facebook, he cannot use the things he used to do in opposition. The things he used to do in opposition got him into power. So maybe the citizens like that approach. Maybe the citizens want a different approach. And the foreign affairs themselves admitted that this is a radical approach because from what we are seeing, we cannot do what has been done every time
and get different results.
When you came to power, all the
people listen, why is it that where there is a elephant family, they always find themselves in corruption and not allow for investigation? So small the issues are not small ones, so they are big ones, which really affects majority of suffering Ghanaians. Why? Oh, why? Indulging in indulging corrupting practices at home and in the USA too. Never again. You say, okay. I was asking Brian for something, but he says he doesn't corruption. He says that people who should know, Brian said, people who should know better and do better on TV and destroy others with their one-sided stories. If a man has done anything wrong, he should be charged. The NDC cannot govern with propaganda. Samuel Brian is, but you see,
no.
My question is,
yes.
How do you charge somebody if you don't investigate the person? If you don't do findings, these are the findings. These are the preliminary findings.
Yes, but before you bring the findings and everything, and the charge and everything, you also need to be careful what you speculate. Okay. Look, public service, and Beatrice, this is what you need to understand. Running a private sector business and communication is totally different from public service thing. Honey, until early 2000s, even emails were not considered as official communications within public service. Until today, you have public institutions because of new media to make it easier to communicate to people. But even with that, they are official statements. It doesn't debar the public servant from
what makes an official statement.
It doesn't debar.
What makes an official statement an official statement?
The statements are like this one that you've given us.
That's an official statement.
No, like this one that you've given us.
What does it have? What
does it have?
The letterhead.
What will they do? They'll put a copy of it on their page, right? Even when they write post, it comes with some sign and some authority from whoever endorsed such a decision. Such a thing goes on social media.
So the
it's
official page,
you get it.
So the official page of the foreign minister, any statement that
the foreign minister has his own. Apart from being a foreign minister, he's an
MP.
An MP too. He's also a Ghanaian. He may have his sentiments and thoughts on other issues prior to become foreign affairs minister. But I believe, and with public service and diplomatic engagement tenets, if you want to issue things bordering on us, let it be more official than what you get it. You get it.
No, he's not.
It's not about what I believe. It's about standards to how you do things with the public service. When it comes to the people's money and the people's things.
My issue is that why is it that we always say you can't do the same things all the time and get different results? So it gets to a point where drastic measures, like, you have to be drastic at every decision.
Our parents will tell you that those days you have to listen to GBC News 1 o'clock and 12
I
o'clock,
told
whatever times to hear someone being fired and all that. Today, we see people's appointment letters.
No, I
scanned and put on social media.
Yes, so
as
you see an embassy shut down.
Yes,
it's the same thing.
An embassy shut down.
Yes.
Because of what? Because of an inconclusive investigation.
No.
So what has the gentleman been charged with?
Okay.
What has he been charged with?
I don't want to respond again.
We'll take it.
He's done ABCD. He's cloned websites. He's taking monies that is due us. But what has he been charged with?
Nothing. Nothing.
What has he been charged?
He's not been charged with anything.
Because if we are going to be doing this,
okay,
like at the end of the day, he hasn't been charged. Nothing has been communicated. He's not facing any disciplinary committee. If he has,
okay,
we need to know what steps were taken. Okay, he's been found out. The investigations has revealed. What has he been charged? What are the next steps to making sure that we either retrieve what he's taken from us as alleged, or he faces the sanctions for what he's alleged to have done?
So let me read this. Mansa Musa in the UK says that, Annie, I'm really sitting here wondering if the NPP's philosophy on everything in government does have to be opposed. So here we are in an embassy in Washington. Visa racketeering is going on, and has been established that it isn't just one person involved. Annie, the other day, the NPP's Mr. Kofi Tonto, told us on Asempa Radio on the show that he personally did investigations or investigate this issue, but had to give up and back down to save his own life. So why is the NPP rep throwing a line to suggest that the foreign minister has done something wrong? And that is worse than what has actually taken place in that embassy. Okay, Annie, please tell Lara too that the disgrace and embarrassment is rather how they are communicating, not what the minister did. Yes. So she's talking about what she's talking about is caused by a corrupt diplomat and not by the foreign minister. Good morning from Mansa Musa.
To stop to save his lives. These are people that go around our missions.
It tells you.
You get it.
It tells you.
These are people that go around our missions.
It tells you that it's an organized crime. And organized crime, sometimes you don't even know where the syndicates are.
We have
so
another
you really
organized
will have
crime
to take
to discuss.
that.
You don't want us to go for.
Let's go for a breather. We have another organized crime to discuss.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGL Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
Mommy.
Michelle say. Fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Choco toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Choco toothpaste, Sankofa.
Yenchi, Kel Choco toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
I'm a branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Oh, Mr. Yamfan come and me burua. Mami do buro. Don't ya tell me ko bra. Mumi Yamfan ko Dr. Ban ho. Dr. Ban o ya de. Bra, se ban no mpemu adwuma sasabro slow Dr. Ban o ye.
Say ni kemi kwa na meka. Oh no mpemu nimdi ono na ye expert nya zanfo no. O akra eni kumasi no mpemu expert yen kan kire o.
Buy affordable service plots and lands from Estate Masters. Currently selling our Nest Cottage, located at the newly proposed Airport City, with a starting price of 25,000 Ghana cedis. We also have Palm Hills, located at Panfukuro in the Gomwa East District, also with a starting price of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Available also is Coastal Park in Lakpleku, which is a 15-minute drive from the Ningo Senior High School, having a starting price of 55,000 Ghana cedis. You will receive a free site plan with indenture once you successfully purchase a land from us. For any enquiries, contact the numbers provided. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Food insecurity in West Africa isn't just a statistic. It's a crisis affecting millions, not because of a lack of land or talent, but because our food systems are struggling under the weight of conflict, climate change, and limited investment. On June 3rd, I had the honor of moderating the President's Roundtable 2025, hosted by the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBID, under the theme Unlocking Food Security in West Africa Through Agricultural Transformation. We'll convene leaders, experts, and change makers for a strategic conversation, one that moves far beyond talk into action. From innovative financing to climate-smart agriculture, we'll spotlight real solutions and real commitments live on Metro TV. Now it's a defining moment for our region, so do join the conversation as well, live on DSTV Channel 277 and EBID's digital platforms. Let's move together from insecurity to food sovereignty. My name is Anita Erskine. It would be an honor to have you join us.
Kenu Yehuwa Ekat, we Ahata et Yehuwa, Elohika Bika Luvika, Uvika Naveshika, Uvika Miyodika, Tode Yashach, Tode Yashach. Kenu Yehuwa Ekat, we Ahata et Yehuwa, Elohika Bika Luvika, Uvika Naveshika, Uvika Miyodika, Tode Yashach. Tode Yashach. Kenu Yehuwa Ekat, we Ahata et Yehuwa, Elohika Bika Luvika, Uvika Naveshika, Uvika Miyodika, Tode Yashach. Kenu Yehuwa Ekat, we Ahata et Yehuwa, Elohika Bika Luvika, Uvika Naveshika, Uvika Miyodika, Tode.
Mr. Speaker, I think it to me be very, very sad that you are here talking. He was expecting you to sleep at Yoko with him. You abandoned him to sleep there. And today, you promised the people of Ghana that you abandon this chamber. You are here making a lot of arguments. Wontumi, you people should tell Wontumi his people are deceiving him. And he's sleeping there alone and they are here. Arguing for more holidays.
Honorable Adongo, are they supposed to sleep there with him?
Mr. Speaker, that is what they made us believe.
Chairman of the committee,
we were surprised when they were sitting on the ground there.
Honorable
But when we went there at 7, they had disappeared.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana. I still have lawyer Beatrice Annan with me, and also Larato Musasaka is still with me. Let me go through some of the headlines and what is being captured about Wontumi situation. So Herald says that legal chaos between Wontumi and wife and lawyers, Wontumi's wife and lawyers, keeps him detained. Then we also have from the Insight newspaper, NPP bigwig backs Yoko, insists Wontumi's arrest and detention lawful. If I can have the, okay, I'll call for it at the right time. That's if there's any, disagreement on that. The lawyer for Wontumi, Andy Appiah-Kubi's tape. And then Daily Guide says that Wontumi filed for Yoko bail variation. And then we also have, there was also some Brian Achampong story of, having presented the sureties to get Wontumi released. Yoko tricks Bawumia MPP over Wontumi's detention. That's by the custodian. But the hearing will be on the 3rd of June. The variation hearing will be on the 3rd of June. So that's tomorrow, God willing. Okay, let me come to the guest straight because of time. So I don't waste time reading a lot of the write-ups. Beatrice, this is the situation. So on one hand, we hear Brian Achampong had presented some amount of money, the sureties for his bill. And then on the other hand, there was a court issue to plead for variation.
For me, I just want to say that what is happening in our country today is not because anybody's right is being infringed upon. That point has to be made very forcefully because it is a principle of our criminal justice system that everybody is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty, that all suspects have the right to be treated with dignity during the arrest and even after the arrest, and that everybody is entitled to bail, and especially when the arrest is effected without a warrant, it means that the arresting authorities have an obligation to present you before court within 48 hours for the court to either grant you bail or remand you. And I want to also say that in the matter of Wontumi, as we are discussing, none of these principles have been breached. He has been presumed innocent and he will have his day in court. His right to dignity has not been violated. I've heard in certain quarters where people say that he's on hunger strike. I can tell you on authority that the only reason Chairman Wontumi is not eating is that he says he does not trust his own party people to bring him food. And that the last time they brought him food, he and John Kuma were poisoned and he survived it. I'm telling you that on authority.
That's why he...
Yes, so he does not want to take food from his party people. So his right to dignity is being protected. In fact, he has also not been denying bail. He has been granted bail. And the record must also reflect that he was granted bail the very night or the very day that he was arrested. So it is not as if Iyoko wants to keep him there. And this is the very sad part. And I don't think that the NPP is an organization that anybody should sacrifice their intellect, their resources, their time, or anything to support. Because see, I am so scandalized at what is happening to Chairman Wontumi. Chairman Wontumi is the chairman of the NPP's World Bank until he became a microfinance in the 2024 election. Chairman Wontumi goes on air and says things that nobody can say in the interest of the party. Chairman Wontumi is one man who has insulted almost everybody in this country because of his love for the NPP. And you know what is happening to Chairman Wontumi? The only reason why Chairman Wontumi is not out of custody today, Monday, as we speak, is because various factions in NPP are using Chairman Wontumi to either test their popularity in the upcoming flag bearership race in the NPP or to see whether or not they are influential. And I'll demonstrate to you. You will say that, oh, but bitches, are you sure? I am very sure.
In fact, I'm thinking that's your deduction.
It's not my deduction. I'll demonstrate to you. Annie, when Chairman Wontumi was arrested, immediately he was granted bail, 2 sureties, in the sum of 50 million cedis. And even before I come to the flag bearers or potential flag bearers using him to play Chaskele, I want to demonstrate to you that when you want to grant a person bail for an offense you are investigating, and you don't grant bail less the sum that you are investigating or less the value. Because, for example, if I am accused of doing something in the sum of 50 million, the moment she grants me bail of, let's say, 40 million, I can actually run away and make 10 million cedis off it by just running away. So every time, bail conditions are set to either be at par with the subject of the investigation or even higher, so that the suspect does not have any motivation to run away. And so the bail terms as was set by Iyoko were not harsh and onerous. In fact, if you listen to Apia Kubi, who is the rightful lawyer, because these days they have more than 3 or 4 people saying that they are representing Wontumi, but we'll come back. If you listen to Apia Kubi, he himself agrees that Iyoko has been very professional, Iyoko has been very cooperative, and in fact, as at even Friday, people at Iyoko, including the boss, stayed on for hours till 8 p.m. waiting for them to come and meet the bail conditions so that their most venerable and once revered governor of Ashanti region can go home. But
so,
then again,
so they were ready to grant the bill.
No, they had granted the bill. Come and meet the bill conditions. As for them, they've granted the bill. And no lawyer can argue that the terms of the bill was onerous. Because we've seen bills being granted in the sum of 120 million, in the sum of 80 million. Even sometimes when you go to court, it's to be justified. You know, so that point has to be made. But this is why I say that people who want to be flag bearers or are in the camp of flag bearers are using Moon to mean liberty to test their popularity. First, let me show you. When Iyoko granted the bill, the first move by the micro-minority leader, Afenyo Markin, was to lead the honorable members to the premises of Iyoko and to sit on the floor. For me, I was most scandalized by this action by Afenyo Markin and his fellow members of parliament.
Is it the sitting on the floor or the abandoning of parliament that you were scandalized by?
Afenyo Markin is my senior at the bar. At least he knows that sitting on the floor is not one of the grounds for the grant of a bail condition. So when you check section 96, 97 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, Act 30, nowhere does it say that when a person is arrested by sitting on the floor, you can get the person, released. And you know, for me, the most embarrassing thing about this is that, is this not the same Afenyo Markin who can actually file an ex parte application in the Supreme Court and in 2 hours get a ruling and an order drawn up and served on the Speaker of Parliament? All of a sudden, he does no longer have the power to go to court, this time even ex parte, to ask for bail for Wontumi. He can no longer secure a ruling of the court in 2 hours to get the venerable governor of Ashanti region, the man who flaunts gold, the man who is worth over $4 billion, and at a time wants to even buy Chelsea. Is that the value they place on the governor of Ashanti? Why do you belittle a big man like that? So Afenyo Markin all of a sudden knew that now you don't necessarily have to go to court. I'm very curious to know, and maybe you should interview him for us. Why on this note, he chose not to go to court ex parte? He could have gone to the Supreme Court.
That's his choice.
Because even where the rules of procedure does not allow, he still gets ruling in the Supreme Court. So it was my valid expectation that he will file an ex parte in court, challenging the human rights and the legality of it. All of a sudden, those powers are no longer there. Then you have Tim Baumia. Afenyo Markin belongs to Camp Kennedy, Japan.
Oh.
I've heard even he wants to contest himself. I'm sure he will do his own analysis. Then you have Camp Baumia, who also, without recourse to the rules of practice, asked Gary Nimako to go to court, to go and file an application to review the bail condition, when Gary Nimako is not the lawyer on record, or at least the lawyer as known to Iyoko and the investigating authorities. And while they were negotiating, this surprise was sprung on both the lawyer and the investigating authority. Why? Because Dr. Baumia wanted the chairman of their stronghold to know that even while you are in here, I'm fighting for you. So without tact, without strategy, without recourse to legal ramification, with no finesse, howsoever described, let's just file a process. It doesn't matter whether the lawyer has been consulted or not. And let me say that the first time Dr. Baumia went to Iyoko, he was not refused access to see Chairman Wontumi. In fact, they were told exactly what to do so that it does not cause chaos. And they went to do exactly the opposite of what they have agreed on. Yesterday, when they agreed to do the right thing, he was made to see Chairman Wontumi. Then you have their new flag bearer, Team Brian Echampong, Team Labadi Beach, or it's Lapang, saying that as for me, I am the owner of Rock City. I have 50 million. So I would also arrange for surety. The base should know that when Chairman Wontumi was arrested and is in prison, I am the one who was able, I'm sure the campaign time you will see. Yepe mema bano. Na yentimi nyobi aye na yede surety ne bae. I can imagine in the coming days how the flag bearership contest will be. Because now it's a competition of who can get the surety. And you see, in all these, back to the serious point, by their acts and inaction, they are even misleading the arresting authority. And so they are not even able to arraign Wontumi before court. Because they go like, oh, we are coming at 3 p.m.
Okay, that's what I wanted.
We are coming at 4 p.m. At 5 p.m., this surety will come. By the time it's 5 p.m., nobody. Even on Friday.
So this assurance is being given to the arresting authority. Is it coming from different camps, according to you?
Yes, so it depends on who wants to pull what string. But there is one assurance I can give to the people of Ghana, that the NDC and President Mahama are committed to making sure that anybody who has wasted the resources of this country is held accountable. But that accountability will be done in tandem with the tenets of the rule of law, having regard to the principles of our criminal justice system. The fear and the anxiety of the NPP is that if the NDC decides to do even half of what they did to the members of the NDC, half of them will not survive.
Okay.
Because, Annie, the things against Wontumi, they are so scary that if you look at Apia Kubi's demeanor, you can see that he's a wise lawyer. Because people are not privy to what the investigative authorities are privy to. This investigation is not only being carried out by Iyoko. The FBI is also involved. It is even murkier than you think. And so Apia Kubi, being a wise lawyer, has taken a certain reconciliatory posture. He knows what Iyoko knows. He knows what facts the man has been confronted with. And so, and I want to commend him, because we always say, so for instance, when you have a case that affects the liberty of your client, as a lawyer, your posturing ought to be different. If you go to court in a contempt case and you are fighting the judge, know that the judge will take out that anger on your client and your client will be sentenced. So he has, demonstrated a lot of maturity. But ultimately, this shows that the MPP is very disorganized. They are not concerned about the welfare of their members and even their party leadership. But if this can happen to Wontumi, then who else is protected? Who will be protected? Because the purpose of the visit and the purpose of wanting to see him is not because we want to see him and solidarize. It is because the party base, it is a campaign message. It is a shame. It is a shame that you have a man, and for me, everybody knows that I like Wontumi. People say he has his own excesses and all that, but for some reason, I'm amused by some of the things. You see his prayer you were playing, those Latin, I'm just amused by it. So I don't have any...
But he has some wild excesses that should not be entertained.
Every human being has excesses. What we are talking about here is not... You see, he will have his day in court. He will have his day before the FBI. He will have his day to answer the question. He will have his lawyers represent him. But what we are talking about is a party that is in disarray. That cannot come together. There is no tact, there is no strategy, there is no finesse. And they just want to turn the story around and make it look like somebody is infringing on the rights of somebody. Nobody is interested. And let me conclude by saying that if an investigative authority wants to frustrate you, and they can frustrate you, if the charges against you are 15, you know what they can do? They can arrest you on 1,
2 or 3.
1, even 1, 2 or 3, it is classed. 1, grant you bail. You leave the premises, you get to your house, they arrest you on the second one. You leave your premises, so for almost every week you'll be arrested. And for each, they can set different bail conditions. By the time you realize, you will not get sureties again. So nobody is interested in doing anybody or in trying to make sure that somebody's rights are curtailed. And if we want big fishes, Woon to me is not one of them.
But you can't say that, because you've also indicated that one of his issues has to do with international organized crime.
Yes. The FBI.
Yes,
so I'm saying that this arrest is not political. It is because of an offense. And you know the funny thing, you start investigating one offense.
Yeah.
By the time you are getting somewhere, you discover a new offense. So this has got nothing to do with political cases or any political witch hunters. Even though if they are witches, we may hunt them. But that's not it.
So guess what? There's a member of your party that's very surprised and shocked at that information. In fact, he wants to know, is that so? He wants more information. And this person is the person of Kakre Samoa. So opening Kakre Samoa, he says, I clearly heard Annie, solid Beatrice Annan, saying that Chairman Wontumi is refusing food from the MPP people whilst in custody because, according to him, the last time he ate NPP food with John Kuma was poisoned. He survived. Is that so?
Yes,
Annie.
It is so. That is the information
Morning.
I have. So he eats just a certain category of food that he has the opportunity. Is like he will prepare it from scratch, so he knows it.
Okay.
So it is not about Yoko. It is not about the NDC. It is about the NPP's own internal disintegration.
Okay. Good morning, Annie. So Laratu is old school, eh? Now I can understand. So Laratu likes to listen to cool music. And the gang,
I know who is sending this message.
Is it Laratu?
Is it Shum?
Listen to this sentence. Laratu, how body? You understand?
Kojo Chumbuafo.
Oh, you know the deal. So Kojo Chumbuafo is hiding in the financial, his office what?
Financial intelligence.
I would have been surprised if he hadn't
He's
sent
hiding
a
there,
message.
doing his things and sending funny messages. He says that, how body, you are glowing in opposition pink.
Annie,
Beatrice has been flowing this morning. She must have prayed in Hebrew this morning.
I promise you.
Your presentation this morning is solid gold.
Is this your first time of serving in public service?
You always
and in government. I'm just asking. Is it your first time of serving in public service?
Do you have a contrary?
Is it your first time of serving in government? Anyway, a second
achievement.
A second is a very long time in a politician's life.
True.
And with all that Beatrice said, with the running around one, you know, MPP is her first love, right? So she gives credence to the fact that people never really get her fixation with the new patriotic party. That's the party she wanted to join, but faced some setbacks and ended up in NDC. She can't deny that. She can't deny that.
See that her people don't trash his MPP.
She can't deny that. And two, with all that Beatrice was saying, it's more like payback time. And you did it to me, and we are doing it. You did it to us, and we are doing it to you.
Listening.
For how long will this cycle continue?
Oh, for how long?
Until the MPs went. Come again.
Of arrest?
Yes. Until the MPs, minority caucus went to Yoko when they were insisting on the variation of the bail conditions. Nobody really knew exactly what Chairman Wontumi was being held on. And the same approach, the populist approach that appointees of this government have resorted to. The Deputy Attorney General came to write a litany of charges against Chairman Wontumi on his Facebook wall. Is this how we are going to be running our issues?
But did Yoko do this because it says
Facebook thing? There worries Laura too.
Sorry,
Honey,
did the Yoko do this?
Can I continue with what I'm going? The Yoko didn't say anything. It was the Deputy Attorney General that came to run a litany of things, allegations on his wall late in the evening after the MPs had gone there. I don't think there's anything wrong in asking for the variation of the bail conditions. And I also don't think that Beatrice sitting here believes, with all her love for Chairman Wontumi, believes that he can run away if the bail conditions are varied. Right. He's being held. What happened? Why were people allowed? He was invited to come and assist the investigative body. That was the communication. And he indicated that he wouldn't be available on that day, but would be available on that particular day. The day that he was going, he was honoring that invitation. How many people did you see him go with? Well, when did the agitation start? When he was held without any communication. And with all the allegations that are going on and knowing the modus operandi of the NDC whenever they are in government, you set a bail condition at that level with landed property. Were they looking for another case to build around him with that bail condition? That is up to them. But at the end of the day, there are rules and regulations in this country.
Are you privy to the charges?
The only thing I have seen are the ones that the Deputy Attorney General wrote on his wall.
The Exim Bank, the Cocoa
Those are not his charges.
Well, that's what that's the Deputy Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana. He wrote it.
The money laundering.
So if you are telling me we should take
take your time.
Charges
are different from
whatever
subject matters of investigation.
Madam, go and read the post of the gentleman. Read it.
He said he's been investigated.
Can I have my time?
No, but you are misquoting the learned Deputy
time?
Attorney General. I must correct you.
I said a litany of allegations that he wrote on his wall.
No, he said
I said a litany of allegations.
No, she said, do you know the charges?
Can I have my time?
Then you said that.
Beatrice.
Oh, you can have your time, but
so
you just have to put it in context.
A litany of allegations that he came to write on his wall as Deputy Attorney General. So if we think we should not heed to that, let us know what it is. You've also said, sir, now you're saying what the Deputy Attorney General wrote.
That's what
it's not factual.
You're not listening.
Yeah. Are you listening? I'm not listening. Are you listening?
It's under investigation.
But what are they? He's being investigated on those allegations. Is that wrong?
Yes, but
so I said a litany of allegations.
So out of
I said a litany of allegations on his wall. Where are you coming from with a listen? Listen.
It's okay. You will never understand.
You can never understand. You get it. So today, you're holding him. You're talking about how it was done to people and all that. I pray one day this cycle is broken.
I haven't made reference to that it was done to someone.
This cycle is broken because we can't continue like this. And I'll always emphasize, if he's done wrong, there are laws.
So what are the laws?
I said if he's done wrong those things, there's a process to it. But you invite someone to come and assist you and you hold the person. Definitely. He also has people that support him. They also raise questions because it was just an invitation to come and assist. And he was held on.
Okay, so number one, you don't want to be referenced of what you did in the previous administration as in NPP. Number two, you are ready to assist in investigation, but supporters must come to the holding offices to come and protest.
Where is the NPP now? Is the NPP in government?
NPP is not.
The New Patriotic Party is
so what's your point?
in opposition. right? What does that tell you? Ghanaians were not comfortable with some of the things that were done.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's what people who vote against you, they're not comfortable with some of the things you did. Right? We can go from, I always say from 92. It's been MPP and NDC. We can jab each other on how this person was arrested, that person was arrested, bail condition. But to what end, at what point does it end? And you know, we have no mean a person in charge now than a president who has been there before. And similar things happen within his regime. You listen to his inaugural speech. So what meaning are they giving to the reset they promised the people of Ghana? Get it?
I want
At
to
the end of
figure
the day,
out what has been done
whatever
wrong.
the conditions are, there are indications that they've been met. He'll come out on bail.
They've
But
actually
after
not been
that,
met
let
as at
things
this
be
moment.
done.
I have to correct that. They've actually not been met as at this
Did you
moment.
listen to me? I said there are indications that it's been met. I didn't say it's been met.
There are indications that it's
you
been
can't
met.
make that
They are
statement.
working on it. You get it?
Uh-huh.
Are you the one going to tell me what to say?
Okay, go ahead.
We are making
What is this?
indication.
You know, I can understand your excitement, right?
Which
I can understand
excitement?
your excitement, but don't know that just yesterday, 7 January, the president was sworn in. Today is 2nd June. The time moves like that.
You didn't. You got to know this in opposition. All of
the
a sudden.
time moves like that, right? No, but
when did you get to know this in opposition or while you were in government?
You see, in life,
I'm curious.
In life, you learn from your mistakes.
So you have learned.
So if you don't want to learn from your mistakes in the past, if you don't want to learn from your mistakes,
I want you to admit that
why
you
do
have
you become
learned
better as a human being if you don't learn from your past
Then that one
mistakes?
I forgive you.
You need to be humble enough to learn from it, especially when you put yourself up to serve people.
Yes, please.
It's not everybody who puts themselves up to serve people.
Yes.
So this conversation about they did it and they did worse and all that, you claim to come and do better.
But even that,
do better.
But even that, I don't play to that kind of conversation because the underpinning reasons for people's arrest differ. From one person to the other.
This morning,
So
I haven't even used anybody to justify.
Right?
No,
Beatrice is sitting down here. I counted at least 3 times that she used the fact that the expression that she's scandalized. She's scandalized that the MP, and that's why I said she's justifying the fact that people actually don't fully get over their first love. She's scandalized about what is happening in the MPP. She's scandalized about the internal, but she's not scandalized about the fact that the institution that is anchoring the Ghana Medical Trust Fund had someone with fake medical credentials put on it. It didn't scandalize her.
So let me respond.
It didn't scandalize her.
She was not here when the thing happened.
She was where?
She was not on the show, so she didn't get the opportunity.
Beatrice, that's telling me old school. New school people can know anything everywhere.
No, I'm saying that she didn't get the opportunity to express her
Express
position
what?
on that.
What doesn't Beatrice write on her social media handles? Does Beatrice have to wait
so
to
that
be
one
on
Beatrice can write on her social
No,
media handles.
but in what?
No, so that
no, is she a
Beatrice can write on her
minister? Is
social
she a
media
minister?
handles.
She's a presidential staffer.
Let me answer.
She doesn't take any decisions for us.
She's a board member of Bank of Ghana.
She's a board member of Bank of Ghana. As a member, does she take decisions for us? She's part of the process.
Annie,
She's not a decision. She doesn't take decisions for us.
Someone says that I don't understand the interjection by Laratu. The last
What
time
interjection?
So he said the last time.
I'm the one speaking and Beatrice is interjecting.
No, maybe he means in a different context. The last time when the AG Ayeni gave us prior briefing on Edu Boahen, he was sued for defamation. What exactly does the MPP want? If you talk, trouble. If you don't talk, trouble.
So since Laratu is learning in opposition.
This one said that.
Let me respond.
Said that, Annie, Chema to me being pursued illegally or due process not being followed, or is due process not being followed? Article 14, Clause 3b clearly states upon reasons, suspicions of having committed or being about to commit a crime offense under the law of Ghana. and who is not released shall be brought before the court within 48 hours, blah, blah, blah. This one says that, Annie, good morning. Please tell the managing director of TDC to revive the Birds for Life project at the Ramsar site so that we see our fly-away birds migrating back because Ramsar site is taking shape from Alhaji Haruna. I'm joining this your campaign.
Everybody.
I'll tell you. Simon says that, good morning, Annie. According to one of Dr. Baumia's aides, Mr. Kofi Tonto, the guy's fraudulent behavior or activities was brought to the attention of the former Foreign Affairs Minister and the ambassador to the USA. What measures did they put in place to stop the illegal activities of the guy in Ghana? And probably that was a question whoever was interviewing him at the time should have posed, because we want to know if there was any, attempt to correct the anomalies. Our democratic credentials are being stained by actions of the NDC, and it seems that this party don't regard our laws because of political persecution of Wontumi. It's so irritating. You didn't add your name. Please, I have just about, I don't have time.
Yes.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute each.
To quote the suspended Chief Justice, the law is the law and it's the law. What Loratu has not been able to demonstrate is a breach of Chairman Wontumi's fundamental human rights. That she has not been able to demonstrate that, and that is the point we are making, that every loot that the MPP benefited from will be recovered within the ambit of the law and protecting their fundamental human right. Then she made a statement, I think it's in the gist, about the Andali lady being a fake doctor and me not having an opinion on it. When you want to make an appointment anyway, it is based on either recommendation and the CV. But as a sensitive government, when it comes to your notice that somebody may have misrepresented things which has not even been established.
Or you made a mistake.
Or you even made a mistake to admit that what you do, the remedial step you take, is what we should be questioning. When the thing came to the notice of government immediately took steps, replaced the said young lady, and she was never sworn in as a board member. In your past, we would have found out that perhaps traditional medicine is also another form of medicine. And you will come and copiously defend it. I'm saying that the NDC government is setting new standards in government. Nobody is saying that we are angels. Nobody is saying that there will be no mistakes. Nobody is even saying that the citizens at all times will be happy with every action that we take. But we are committed to journeying this governance with the people. When you take a decision and the people say that we are not happy or we think it could have been done better, we are committed to correcting it and moving. But let me say that this does not include sitting on the floor, because after the floor you can sit on it for a long time. But so it must be refreshing for us to know, because in the past,
have you seen
when we talk about Hannah
leaders sitting on the floor, have you seen the pictures?
Which floor? You can go on demonstration and sit on the floor. You can go, but that's what I'm saying, that the grounds for grant of bail does not include sitting on the floor.
Okay.
But demonstration, you have the right to demonstrate in any way to carry yourself.
Ambassador Edith, I should ask you, are you saying that Wontumi was serving Ghana?
Come again.
Was serving the interests of Ghana.
Yes.
Let me make my point.
Ghana for Monsori.
If Beatrice is talking about certain standards, right? Certain new standards, due diligence is a standard, especially when it comes to health. You can't joke with health, especially when it's that particular institution. National Health Insurance Authority is anchoring one of your policies that you promised during the 2024 campaign. Referring to the MPP in the past is defeatist, because if you claim you are coming to reset and coming to do things,
it cannot be your standard.
You can't be referring to
of course, you are not our standard.
That is it.
No, don't the standard you are not. Because if you are standard, the dollar should have been 20 cedis by now. You are not our standard.
A second, in a politician's life, especially when
not
in
even
government.
a politician,
And
anybody's
the
life.
place she's sitting, it's a very long
Everybody's
time.
life.
Okay, so she should come to the realization that even for a baby,
I'm happy you are
after
really
6
learning in your
months,
position.
even if your mother is doing exclusive breastfeeding, after 6 months,
I think
you'll
Ghanaians
be
should
getting
keep.
more food added
I think
to
Ghanaians
it.
should keep.
You are growing.
So today,
know
Mr.
that you are in
Foriata-
government, you are no longer
today,
in
Mr.
opposition.
Foriata is mandatorily required to appear in person
Lessons in
before the
opposition.
OSP on June 2, 2025. If Mr. Foriata fails to attend the OSP on the scheduled date, he shall be re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons, and the OSP shall consider him a fugitive from justice, whereupon the OSP will cause the issuance of the Interpol red notice in his regard, and also cause the initiation of extradition proceedings in any jurisdiction in which he may.